What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got another quick little overview for you. Pretty cool knife. This one was loaned to me by a subscriber who wanted to remain nameless, and I shall keep it that way. Thank you very much, sir, for sending this in. And it's thanks to people that send me knives I can provide regular knife content. You guys can listen to me ramble, aren't you so lucky? But this one is pretty neat. This is Benchmade, American-made, Benchmade OTF, Benchmade, of course, out of Oregon. Really kind of controversial, I guess, company price-wise. Some of the things they've done, whatever. But we're just going to focus on the knife today. I will mention the price towards the end of the video, though, and kind of give my thoughts on that. But this one is the Benchmade Infidel out the front. So originally, I think these things came out in another steel. I think they came out in D2 originally. This was an S30V. This is the aluminum handle. See on the back right there, designed by McHenry. And I think they've been out for quite a while, I believe. Quite a while, actually, a few years. So let's go ahead. We'll do what we normally do. Do the specs, size comparisons, weight, all that good stuff. Tip of the blade into the handle. No big protruding glass breaker like a lot of the ones you see, Microtech. So into the handle, you are sitting at, what is that, 8 7/8. Pretty good size knife, right? 4 inches blade length. If you go all the way back to where it meets up with the handle and your sharpened edge length on that, you are looking at 3 5/8. I call that 3 5/8. So really, it's a dagger ground, right? So technically, you got 3 5/8 on this side, 3 5/8 on that side. That's what is that, 7 1/4? Yeah, 7 1/4. So you're getting 7 1/4 inches of cutting edge overall. Trying to figure out where to put my tape measure with that dagger grind on there. So that's something to keep in mind. One benefit of the dagger grind here is a con. If you're talking about pros and cons, here is one downside of the dagger grind. That is behind the edge. That's 34 thousandths. Thickest part of the spine. These are a little different with OTS, but you're looking at 117 thousandths there. And let's see if we can get it here. 120 thousandths on that flat right there. Check out the width of this thing. You are looking at 590 thousandths measured like that, and then over an inch measured like that, right? Let's see, what's your widest point right here? Just out of curiosity here, over an inch and a quarter. So definitely a good size on that. Put that right there, and I will put my calibers up. Gee whiz. All right. So let's compare it to, let's do some folders first. Usual suspects. You got your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Put that, move it over a little bit, kind of keep it from reflecting quite as much. And your Spyderco Para 3, bigger than both, right? Full size, bigger than both, more cutting edges than both. All right. Let's do a couple of Benchmades here just to put it in perspective. You got your Griptilium and your mini Griptilium. All right. So definitely good size OTF. And speaking of OTS, let's compare it to some other out the front knives, get a true idea of what it is. I've got 2 in here. I got 3, but one of them's the same model. So that one I did a showdown video against it with. That is the most direct comparison. That is the DRAC. Is it DRAC or DRAC? I've had people correct me on both, man, no matter how I say it. I say DRAC Delta. But some people have been like, no, it's DRAC. Whatever, I mean, shit, it doesn't matter. So that's the Microtech something rack Delta. That is the Microtech Hellhound version of the Ultratech. So most definitely bigger than the Ultratech, even with the Ultratech that's got that badass Hellhound blade on it, by the way. But right about the same size as the Direct Delta. A little shorter though, right? Because you don't have that big protruding glass breaker, and actually a little more cutting edge on this one. So I had to give that to I think if you watch the showdown video, you can go down in my playlist, battle comparison showdown videos down if you're looking at my channel, and get kind of a more detailed comparison between the two. But one thing's for sure, that fire mechanism definitely a lot smoother than what you're looking at with the Direct Delta. So get the scale out here. This thing, I don't know, man. It's kind of deceiving. Weight centering feels right about there, maybe. I'm wanting to say 5.5 ounces, but I got a feeling I'm way off. 4.9. All right, not too far off, I guess. 4.9 ounces, so just under 5 ounces. So for an OTF that's got, way more than that as far as cutting edge, you consider the dagger grind aspect of it. Well, let's go ahead and let's get it back out. I'm gonna weigh that direct delta, the DRAC delta, or however you want me to say it. 4.4 ounces on that, so definitely a little bit heavier than that, half an ounce. Not incredibly so, but definitely on the heavier end of what I would personally carry for an OTF, but that still wouldn't stop me from carrying it. I mean, that's still would be within my range of something I feel comfortable carrying, unless I'm wearing like gym shorts or swimming trunks or nothing, or something like that. So pocket clip works great. No issues with the pocket clip. Definitely know what you got in pocket if anybody knows what the Benchmade Infidel is, because on the outside it says the Infidel. All right, so really big letters there. Everybody knows you got an Infidel in your pocket. I mean, I think the namesake of it's pretty neat to me. I can understand why they did it, but big blaring letters sticking out there, not very demure if you consider that. But then again, if you're carrying this, you really give too much of a shit about that. All right, looking at the back there, you got S30V on the that's the blade steel. Then you got designed by McHenry. Then you got benchmade.com/pat for the patent, and then Benchmade. So awful lot of writing there. I could have probably done with about without half of that. Most definitely the website being the number one thing. This thing has not failed yet on me. Super smooth. Now at first, being that I'm more used to the direct delta, at first I was kind of like, man, like when you push out the direct delta, the DRAC delta, it's powerful. It's a powerful firing knife. Maybe not as hard as like the Scarab or something like that, but I mean, you can hear it. Listen, almost, and do it in the microphone, you can hear that echo and kind of a super tension on there. Now this one thing that threw me off at first was like, well, shit, fire's weaker, so it'll be more likely to fail, right? Hasn't failed yet. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what your guys' experience is down in the comments for sure. I'd love to know that with this one. But I've fired this one since I've had it on loan to me, probably over, I'd say at least over 50 or 75 times. Hell, I probably fired it at least 25 or 30 times just on this review, and no issues. I've had no issues. No getting stuck. No not wanting to retract. Nothing like that. Now I haven't test failed it. I don't want to do that. That's not my knife. If it was my knife, like like the direct delta, put it like that and see what she does whenever you fail it. Right? Don't know what this one does when you do that, but again, not my knife. So would love to do that. Not gonna do it because it's not mine. And definitely not going to do any kind of like, super hard usage or nothing like that. But this thing is super smooth. The switch, that front switch they got on here, I did cut my thumb about a while back with the Gringo last week before. So still kind of sore right there at the tip. But even with the sore thumb, this thing is just really easy to fire in and out. So I do really like that. I really enjoy that. Nice thick handle. Gives you makes you feel like you got a nice, firm, secure grip. Choking up on it, you got to be careful. It is a dagger ground, right? So what I tend to want to do is put my thumb there and push, when cutting stuff. Do not do that. It's a dagger ground. It will slice your thumb in half. So don't do that. Be better to hold it like this, or, kind of put your thumb right there like that. Maybe even over if you're getting adventurous with it on this side, if you're pulling something. But pretty comfortable in hand. That thickness definitely lends to that. Now, one thing that thickness does is kind of detrimental to. One con of the thickness, I guess you could say, is you definitely feel it in the pocket. But I like how they did kind of the steps up. You're looking at the Dalrock Delta, you can kind of see, not, it's a little toothier there, right? But yeah, pretty comfortable in hand, I would say overall. I'm a pretty big fan. Got some vents there, I guess, to for if you get debris or whatever in it, or liquid maybe, something like that, comes out a little easier. Hardware check, let me go ahead and do that. I keep thinking it's a Microtex, but it is not an old Microtex. It doesn't have the proprietary stuff. That's a T6, so you got T6s on the body screws and T6 on the pocket clip. Wish they were T8s, but it's good that it's not proprietary, right? So definitely, if you apply enough pressure, use good quality bits, shouldn't have too much of a problem. But you do have, it looks to me like 12 T6 screws if you want to disassemble this thing, and 14 T6 screws if you include the ones on the pocket clip. It is not ambidextrous. Don't know why it would be, you know, because that would kind of be, I don't know, you want to carry it like that. I mean, you can carry it right-handed, you know, it goes in your pocket like that, and you can carry it left-handed, pull it out, use it just like that. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? So you don't have like a tip up, tip down kind of situation or anything like that, and you don't have the switch on one side or the other. So I guess that's a benefit of having it, you know, mounted on top like that. I'm a fan of that. I wish they would do more OTS with them mounted on the front. I really would love to try that Hawk deadlock. I think that's a pretty cool looking one, and it looks super smooth. But that is like a over $1,000 minimum OTF. So this one, getting to the price, runs at $437.75. So 437 bucks plus a little change and tax. You know, I think it's right around the same price range as the Durack Delta, but I think about, let's see, what are those running? 374 right now, I believe. So about 50 bucks more. So within the same range, but still more expensive, about 50, 60 bucks more for the Infidel. And with the Microtech, you are getting, you know, aside from the jokes I make about the proprietary hardware and the big turd looking glass breaker, you are getting a super hard firing OTF in that Durack Delta, and you're getting M390 MK nowadays, I think. So a little bit of a steel upgrade, but if you can, you know, if you can stomach paying more for a slightly less quality steel, but instead focusing your attention on enjoying the ease of manipulation, to me, in that aspect, this one actually beats the Durack Delta. An awesome knife. If overall between the two, I would have to pick the Delta, but this one does have some definite positives about it when you compare the two, for sure. That smoothness of actuation is one that that's definitely there. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, got something out of it. At least you got to listen to me fumble my words and ramble and stuff like that. Hit the like button, man. If you like the content, I'd really appreciate that. It's right down there. Subscribe to the channel. It's right down there too. Thank you very much. See you guys on the next one. Have a good day, evening, morning, night, whenever you're watching this, and stay sharp.